Hello everybody, Starving Martian here, and today we're going to talk about MIB, The Men in Black, an excellent movie that came out in 1997. In fact, in my opinion, a better film even than my classic beloved Mars Attacks. Yes, I said it, Men in Black, better movie than Mars Attacks. I think Mars Attacks has the more solid franchise. More good things come out of the Mars Attacks universe than out of Men in Black. But that being said, as a standalone film, as a action sci-fi comedy, MIB is hard, if not impossible, to beat. My favorite action sci-fi comedy of all time, quite possibly. But we're not talking about the movie today. We're talking about the action figures put out by Galoob, a toy company that was making these toys back in 1997. Galoob produced these basic figures, one of which you're looking at now. This is Agent K. This figure is known as Street Striker K. They put out basic action. They put out deluxe action figures with different features on them. They put out a vehicle, which we'll take a look at sometime in the future. They put out a giant Edgar, which was awesome. They put out a line of bendable figures, which if you like bendable figures are okay. I'm not a huge fan myself. But the main figures here, which we're taking a look at today, Agent K, it's a bit of a mixed bag. I appreciate that they were doing something new, doing something different. It's not just, like the figures that came out for Men in Black 2. They were smaller. They're a lot more film accurate. They got a lot of things right that this series did wrong, in my opinion, as far as the toys go. But one thing that I have to give these guys credit for is they took some chances. They did something a little bit different here. And it's not just your standard Star Wars or G.I. Joe kind of 3.5-inch figure. But that being said, this really works better as a adult collector piece, really, than a toy. I don't know how you would play with this as a kid. As you can see, K here is forever stuck in this action pose. You see his tie kind of flapping in the breeze here. Turn him around, you can see the back of his jacket being blown out like he's running, or he's in a powerful wind. Coming close on him here in his head, his face. You'll see he's not terribly film accurate. He doesn't look anything like Tommy Lee Jones. His accessories, he's got one gun permanently molded into his left hand here. The gun was originally bigger. The tip of it broke off, unfortunately, but still looks fine on mine. The MIB universe, some of the weapons are, they differ in size and shape, so it still works. The other gun here, in his right hand, is removable. And if the figure itself is not terribly film accurate, at least the gun is. Let me show you the DVD cover for Men in Black. And here we go. So you can see the gun is nearly identical to the one that he's shown holding right on the DVD cover. So that's pretty good. That's pretty awesome. The base that he comes with, it helps him stand. In fact, without the base, he falls. He does not stand without the base. The base has a manhole cover on it, which is not a sewer cover, as you might assume. In fact, it's, might be hard to see on camera here, but it actually says toxic waste. And it certainly does look like that's some nasty stuff pouring out of there. But this hides a secret. And a lot of the Men in Black toys had hidden secrets in them, which was appropriate. The whole point of the film was that aliens are hiding amongst us. And so what you do is just push on the end of this cap here, and out pops a hidden alien. So there's the inside of the alien's mouth. You see his teeth and his tongue. Here's an eyeball and some pinchers. Very praying mantis looking. So that's kind of cool. I'm glad that that includes that. It's a feature that I've enjoyed since I was a kid. When I was young, I grew up with the real Ghostbuster action figures. And those were pretty awesome because they came with a figure an accessory, and a ghost, a small little rubberized ghost, but something for the Ghostbuster to fight. And then later, I like the same thing with the Jurassic Park toys when those came out. You had, your character, you had an accessory, and you had a hatchling dinosaur. So even if you only had one character, if you only had one figure, you could still play with. You still had an adventure you can do while you were building your allowance up and waiting to purchase your next one. You weren't just standing with one guy. So this has the same thing. You got K, you got his guns, you got an alien. This is a little bit weaker in my opinion because the alien is permanently attached to the base. It's always glued to this manhole cover. And so really, I don't see how a kid could really play with this, have that much fun or adventure. Oh, an alien, zap, he's gone. What else do you do? I don't know. Perhaps if your child has a better imagination than me, they might enjoy that. But as a collector piece, as something just to put up on your shelf, it looks cool. It's identifiable. You can say, oh, that's an MIB figure. That's probably K. And so if that's all you want out of this, it's a decent piece. Most of these you can find online, Amazon, eBay, pretty cheap. Um, and so that's a look at Street Striker K from the MIB toy line from Galoob. Before I go, let me just show off his posability, which is not very good. Like I said, off of the base, he doesn't stand. This leg is forever stuck in this pose. His arms can rotate. This leg here has, for some reason, some very limited motion in the knee. I guess that's so while this leg's pegged down, it's the only foot with a peg hole. You can move this up and down to get it closer to the ground. The legs rotate around like this. If you want to have them squatting down for whatever reason. And the head turns as well. So you can move him around, but you're not going to get a lot of good poses out of him because you need him standing on this peg. That's about as best as you can get him. So yeah, MIB Men in Black, 1997 from Galoob. Do I recommend these toys? If you're a fan of the series, if you enjoy Men in Black, they're not bad and they're pretty cheap. They look good up on a shelf. If you're looking for something more screen accurate, if you're looking for something that actually resembles the actors, then I would pass on these. But all in all, they're not bad figures at all. And I do have a couple more MIB related material that I'll be bringing out to show you guys before too long. So stay tuned for that. But until then, hope you've enjoyed. Enjoy yourself, guys. Have a good time, but always watch the skies.